2414 is a podcast about finding hope and common ground through casual conversation. Like the friends on the road in the New Testament, in Luke chapter 24, verse 14, we want to walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. Thanks for walking with us.
Greetings, fellow listeners. You are now listening to 2414.
Terrible. You're terrible.
I'm terrible. I am. Well, hello.
Hi, Shane.
Good to see you.
Wow.
Good to see you, Dan.
The joy is just radiating today.
Thank you. Well, I gotta say, I gotta save it for when we're really deep in the episode.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome to 2414. This is a podcast about casual conversation, life, and just kind of a whole smorgasbord of topics. You can skim through our episodes if you want, fellow listener, to see the various topics of kids in church, board games, marriage, retirement. The list is many, really. But in this episode, we're continuing our series of the Vibrant Conversation deck, released by Lutheran Hour Ministries that contains various tabletop conversations, albeit very leaned towards Christianity and conversations about God, what you believe, and just other on the deeper end of things, but on the simpler ends, it could be quite simple. In this show, we play games, we talk about life, but at the beginning of each episode, we love to do highs and lows because highs and lows are great conversation starters if you've never done so before, just to check in with someone in a more defined question beyond
How are you? How's life? How's everything?
What's up? Good. You? Yeah, so highs and lows. Mr. Reverend Pastor Dan, would you kick us off? Highs and lows. I don't have a question of the day.
All right.
The question of the day, we'll save it for whatever
Save it.
The cards
I need
say.
to go. I got to give a shout out, by the way.
I'm sorry. I forgot about that.
Our follow-up from our question at the end of the last episode, the answer is 145,655.
That's a big number.
145,655. All right.
If you want to know what the question is, you have to watch the end of last episode.
I don't know how long we're going to continue this, but it makes me happy.
Good enough.
So, low in my life, lows. Well, I share this somewhat regularly. Is parenting's hard, and being a spouse is hard, and it is a regular reminder of my imperfections and hypocrisies of how I want other people to be gracious and patient towards me, but I can feel impatient towards them. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of a low and a high. The high part of that is there's humility that comes with being aware of your role in a family, and there's challenges with I don't know how many times I go to work or leave the house wishing I had carried myself differently. Mm-hmm. So that's real life, and I don't think I'm a bad dad or husband all the time, but there are certainly areas where I'm like, oh, that wasn't the attitude or the word choice or the temperament or demeanor I would like to have had. Mm-hmm. So that's that. Some highs. My little brother and his girlfriend, my younger brother,
your little brother,
my little brother, who was like 41, and his girlfriend came out for a visit last week, and we had a great time. We played disc golf. We went to
I don't like where you put the emphasis on disc golf.
Disc golf.
Sorry. All right, I digress.
No, but we we went down to the Browns Point Lighthouse. We went to Pike Place Market. We taught my kids how to play poker and had like a 6-hour poker tournament that my youngest won. And we thought maybe it was a fluke. And so we had like a 2 or 3 hour tournament the next day, and he won again. Yeah, like legit won.
Wow.
So he had some ridiculously good hands, but he also played well. So just time laughing and playing games, that's been a great high in my life.
Oh.
And the sun is shining right now, so that feels good too.
Awesome. I love showing family the old like Seattle Tacoma tour.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it was, and we had great weather for it. We didn't see the mountain for the first 2 or 3 days of their visit, and then the next day it was just there in all of its glory.
Yeah. Just amazing of just how this monumental object can just disappear.
Yeah, it's not there. And then it is.
There. Oh, yeah.
So that's a snapshot of me. What about you, Shane? Lows, highs in the last day, week, month?
Yeah, I would say lows are just that there's a lot of like benchmark life things that people do throughout their life, and they're kind of all happening all at once in my life, and so it's just a stressor of just a lot of big life events of preparing for a child right around the corner.
Are you counting weeks or days or what?
We are. It was less than 4 weeks.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was 4 weeks yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. So less than 4 weeks now. So really, I mean, any day in theory, but I feel like there's always the, 2 weeks before and 1 week after the actual due date is kind of the window of opportunity.
Yeah.
So of having a baby. So yeah, that's kind of preparing for that as much as we can. Lauren and I are also doing all the closing stuff for homes. So like we will be moving into a place more than likely before the baby's born, which is so exciting. I'm like beyond like over the moon. I'm like I can't wait like
be a
for
homeowner.
for a first time. To be a first-time home owner, but kind of that packed in with like major life event of first kid too. It's a lot to mentally keep tab of, but also just a lot to just do in the sense of like planning and like all the paperwork and home stuff you have to like plan and figure out.
I enjoy being a home owner more than a home buyer.
Yes, yeah. I don't think anyone enjoys buying homes. You enjoy like living and owning, but the process getting there, and then just all the stuff that goes with being a home buyer from a renter. So yeah, it's a big transition going through. The flip side of that, we also just feel so absolutely blessed being at this church. We have so much support. I could not imagine doing all of this without the support in the community behind me that we do.
Yeah.
Like I would feel like this is pointless and I would hate everything, but I feel great. I feel so loved and supported. Good. So like, I don't know how people do it without like people in their lives. Like I really mean that. I feel so loved. So cool. That's part of the high, but another high is just that it's my birthday today. Yay.
I've got a funny story about that real quick, but
about my birthday.
Oh, sorry. But you can keep going. Sorry.
No. I would just say, yeah, it's my birthday today, and I'm excited for I think Lauren has a dinner planned. Okay. So it's exciting. So
my brothers and I, we play PlayStation every Friday. And right now we're playing Rocket League, and I'm terrible. And we laugh, we have fun, we catch up. And a couple years ago, my little brother's birthday was on a Friday. And so we played Rocket League. We played for an hour, and my big brother and I had both sent him a gift already. Yeah. So we're playing, we got our headphones on, we're doing the thing, we're laughing, we're telling stories, we talk for an hour straight. So we get off, and my wife says, "So what is Chris doing for his birthday?" And I go, "Oh, it didn't come up." She's like, "What do you mean it didn't come up? Like, it's today, right?" I was like, "Yeah, it didn't come up." And then Chris is like, "How did my birthday not come up?" He's like, "I didn't want to say anything." We were like, "Well, I already sent your present. I mean, I don't know. You want me to say something on the actual day?" I'm like, "Okay." So anyway,
oh no,
I was just thinking like if Charlotte had asked, "So what's Shane doing for his birthday?" No, it didn't come up.
I don't. Yeah,
it's 3:13 in the afternoon as we're recording this, and this is the first time it's come up today.
That's true.
So did you read the card yet that as the staff we got to sign for you?
Okay. Yes.
I don't know. Maybe you didn't read it yet. Maybe you're waiting to read it with Lauren.
No. Normally I like to wait until like actual day of events to read those kind of birthday card stuff. But when I got it, it was like I was handed it like a week ago, and I'm like I feel like I got to read it. So, but yeah, I always feel weird about birthdays. I always feel weird about other people's birthdays too. I was just like, God, I feel like I have to be doing something like really special for this person. Like, And like on my birthday, I always feel awkward. I'm like, oh, these people probably feel like they have to really make me feel special. Like I don't want to
ignore it. I just ignore it.
No, I do because I can't remember birthdays. I'm terrible at dates and like keeping track. Like days come by blurs, and I'm like, I'm happy to just be like breathing and alive. Like remembering birthdays on top of everything is just. It's hard. I'm not great at like, it's not one of my life skills, one of my spiritual gifts of remembering dates.
You and baby Schmelling, number 2, almost shared a birthday. It could have been.
Almost. Yeah.
I could probably find a birthday themed outburst in here.
No, that would spoil the fun of the chance of no do-overs. We got to be able to.
All right.
By randomly just selecting cards for things.
All right.
Either way, so stressors, birthday today, yay. We've also guess been like slowly packing, slowly unscrewing things off walls and just slowly organizing things. So it's been
if you know the layout of your house, to label the boxes now what room they're going to go into.
Oh, that's
even if it's a room number.
It's a great life advice.
Or the name of the room or a room number, so that
you could just
when you have
put
people who are helping unpack, you don't have to. You could just literally put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on all the rooms, and people look at the box. This goes in room number 2.
That's why. That's how I feel about that advice.
So there you go.
I love that.
And
okay.
The last minute things are all going to be in a box that says miscellaneous, which you're going to hate seeing, and other stuff. Dang it! How do we have so many miscellaneous boxes?
Why we're just intentionally planning ahead of things being storage.
So decide what room it should go in, and if it doesn't have a spot, get rid of it. You won't regret it.
Burn the burn pile. Okay.
Burn pile.
I don't know.
Cool.
Okay. On 2414, listener, if you've made it this far and you have no idea what's happening, I'm sorry. I don't even know what's happening. Good luck. Part of the routine of this show, we check in. We do highs and lows so that you may also do highs and lows in your own life. But if you're just listening, awesome. Good for you. We also love to play games. Part of the games we play, we've got a few different ones
strewn about our studio.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you can kind of see them. But if you're just listening, good for you. We've got Wits and Wagers, which is a well-known game, I think, in today's age. But we've also got a game called Wheels versus Doors, and we also have a game called Outburst.
So good.
Do you have a game you want us to play? And if so, I'll explain it at that point.
Me?
Yeah.
I want to play Outburst today,
I love
Shane.
Outburst as well.
So good.
Outburst is a cult classic of our show. It reminds me of Family Feud. Is that you get a prompt? It'll say like chairs, and then you got to list
types of chairs.
Yeah, and you got to list the top 10 things associated with it. The caveat is this game, specifically the version we're playing, was made in the 80s, so we have to answer them based on what you think some random guy might have put as the answer for chairs in 1980s. We got tall people one time, and we were just like, who are tall people in the 80s? Andre the Giant, I guess.
Man. Yeah.
Oh, it's, you never know what you'll get. Also with it, you'll never know what you get because there were very different temperaments of things that were okay to say and talk about in the 80s.
Yeah, so we reserve the right to filter as needed, but hopefully that doesn't have to be exercised today.
We hope. So, listeners, you can play at home. Once we start the category, we'll have like a 30 to 50 second timer, give or take. Probably, I think it's
close to a minute.
Yeah, I think it's 60 seconds ish timer. And we're just going to be outbursting, verbal exploding everything we can. We'll be writing down, keeping track. You can also play at home and you'd be like, well, if the card was this, you should have said this. Oh, what about this? Oh, we're getting most of them. Good for you. You can help us feel dumb, or you can feel smart, or maybe we can feel smart because maybe someday we'll actually get all 10.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
play along. You might also be listening for ones we didn't say. Maybe there's some that you think I wouldn't have thought of that, but Shane might be onto something. After we have exhausted the grains of sand in our timer, we'll have an estimate for how many we think we got of the 10, and at that point, we invite you to participate as well. Shane tends to be on the lower side of things. I tend to guess on the higher side of things. But I realized, Shane, the last time we played this, I'm not guessing high to somehow like fulfill this caricature of like, I'm more optimistic. I genuinely believe it.
No.
Every time. Every time. I'm so convinced.
And that's great for you that you think we can actually get a lot of these, but I'm on the other side of that spectrum of the like there's no way we're getting this. Like this game has never failed to surprise me on what the answers actually are.
I know that going into it, but as soon as we see the category and we say them, I'm so confident in our answers.
Because we say like 30 to 40 answers.
So many things.
And we just hope we get some of those.
Okay. That being said, are you ready? That being
said, as ready as I'll ever be.
Our category today is commonly replaced car parts.
All right. Commonly replaced car parts. Go.
Starter.
Headlights.
Tires.
Bumper.
Ignition. Carburetor.
Fuse.
Fuse. Battery.
Gasoline. Why not? I don't know.
It could be.
Gas tank.
Paint. Windshield.
Muffler.
That's good. Windows.
Mirrors.
Yep.
I'm going to say rear, back, and all of them.
Hoses. Timing belt.
Turn signal.
Turn signal. Oh, did we say headlight already? I'm going to say
brake light.
Yep. Headlight, brake light.
Mm-hmm. Hood. Trunk. Why not? Door.
Engine. I don't think it's common, but
engine light.
Okay.
Oil.
Ooh. Brake pads.
You said carburetor?
Yeah, brake pads. And that's it. Time. 7.
5. I was feeling 5. There's gonna be turn signal fluid, something that's like, that's not real.
Brake fluid. Power steering fluid.
We
didn't get any of the fluids. Oh, Shane.
Oil's a
fluid. Gasoline is a fluid.
So listener at home, if you're like, oil's not a part of a car, you'll be surprised.
You might be right.
You're right, but we have to bend our...
Steve, or whoever created this game, he doesn't agree with you.
He doesn't know.
All right, State says 5. I say 7. Here we go.
Let's see.
Off to a poor start. Number 1, windshield wiper blades.
Windshield wiper blades. We did not say windshield wiper blades.
I said windshield.
I would have given it if we said windshield wipers.
No, we didn't. Oil filter.
Not
the oil. The oil filter.
Good. Yep.
Okay. Number 3, tires. We said that.
Woo, yeah.
Number 4, brakes. I said brake pads. Is that different than brakes?
That cannot be different.
I'm gonna count it.
I'm counting brake pads because that's what you replace.
Right.
You're not replacing the actual.
Number 5, hoses. I said hoses.
You said hoses.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just threw it out there.
Okay. Good.
That's one of the things you replace. Number 6, shock absorbers or shocks. We would have accepted shocks, but we didn't say either one.
Okay, we did not.
Number 7, floor mats. Hardly a part of the car.
It's a
all right.
part, I guess.
Number 8, spark plugs. Did you say that?
I said fuse. That's what I meant. That's what I wanted to.
Fuses, I thought spark plugs.
That's what I did too. I couldn't think.
All right. Number 9, antifreeze.
Not
another
antifreeze.
Fluid we didn't.
No, we did not. See, that part on the car, antifreeze.
And number 10, air filter, which is different than oil filter. We got 3. Oh, we said so many good things. Battery wasn't one.
I'm surprised battery isn't one.
Timing belt.
I've definitely replaced batteries in the car more often than I have the shocks.
Headlights.
No headlight. Yeah.
I wrote something that looks like G1.
Let me be frustrated with this. I've definitely replaced more mufflers than shocks. Windshields more than shocks for sure.
I have replaced windshield wiper blades before.
Yeah, that one I think was a...
I own that one. Antifreeze, or even windshield wiper fluid at that point. I've certainly replaced windshield wiper fluid more than antifreeze.
Me as well. Especially even in the Midwest, I'd say more... Yeah.
Okay. Well, it wasn't our finest round. You got one more in you?
I need to feel good about myself.
Well, I don't guarantee that. But we're gonna
The first one, gets the gears going a little bit, which you don't replace commonly in the car in the top 10, but it gets the gears going. So I feel like the next one, provided it's not like Al Capone or something, like more specific.
Okay. I'm going to flip over this very same card.
I like that.
We should have been doing that all along because most of these cards on our wall have been single-use cards at this point.
It would have been smart.
This is our 40th round playing, and I'm like, maybe we should just do the other side of the card.
Well, I think we have sometimes, but
not on purpose. Okay, here we go.
Nevertheless.
You got our timer ready?
I do now.
Category is blank mind. Fill in the blank mind.
Blank mind.
Absent. Out of my or his. Beautiful mind.
Blank mind? I don't know.
Open mind. Close mind. Smart mind. Dumb mind.
Smart? Yeah, these are what you said.
Mind. Blank
full
mind.
mind.
Mind. M-I-N-D. Never mind. Never. I mind. Do you mind?
Out of mind, I think you said.
Yeah. I need some more contributions.
In mind.
In mind. With that in mind. With that in mind.
Big mind.
Big mind. Lost mind. That's terrible.
I can't think of
Time.
absolutely anything.
I don't think you added anything.
I said
Shane.
in mind.
Okay.
I said full mind, blank mind, in mind. That's
terrible.
big mind. There you go.
Big mind. Everybody's talking about that. Hey, he's got a big mind. People said that in the 80s.
I wanted to say like head, like blank head, but like mind. Just my brain was not doing it.
I'm gonna say 3. I think we know as many blank minds as we do car parts.
Only because I did not contribute. I want to say 2, not just to be less than you, but I just don't think we did good. Didn't well. Sorry.
Blank mind. Listeners at home, what did we forget?
See, you're saying mind, and I'm getting so many in my head that are blank mine, M-I-N-E.
Like what?
Landmine.
Oh, mine. Okay.
Like mine.
Crypto mine.
Yeah. Like.
All right. So mind, but not with an E.
Good grief. This is.
All right.
This is not the.
Two
this
or
was
three.
not the bounce back
This
I wanted.
This is not the.
Because I didn't contribute. I even if you do well, I'll say you do.
Man. Okay. Number
All right.
1. Bear in mind. Now, bear in mind, Shane.
Now, bear in mind.
We didn't get that one. Number 2, out of your mind.
You said that. You said
so
that.
we got 1, out of your mind. Number 3, call to mind.
Call to mind.
We want to call this to mind. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, change your mind. I don't think we said that.
We did not, no.
Number 5, a piece of your mind. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. We didn't say that.
Sounds like something in the 80s.
Number 6, half a mind. I've got half a mind to tell you what I really think,
It
Shane.
sounds like things that you'd say in the 80s.
Yeah.
This is all I'm getting from this.
Number 7, have in mind. Have in mind the fact that.
Okay, all right.
Number 8, make up your mind.
Make up your mind. That's good. That's good.
Number 9, never mind.
Never mind.
I said that.
Good. Yes.
That's a Nirvana album. And number 10, speak your mind.
Speak your mind. Yeah.
I think we got 2.
Is big mind on there?
Let me review the 10. No, big mind was not one of the top 10 sayings for blank mind. Believe it or not, Jane.
So
big mind didn't make the list.
This might be the first time
you got shut out.
I've never contributed.
Wow.
At all.
There was another one. I think you didn't contribute.
I believe it. Like Nixon.
No, maybe. Yeah, there've been some rough ones. Do you want to try a third for redemption?
I do.
Or do you want to go out just with a total wah-wah? Here we go.
We bend the rules. That's true. This is our domain.
I'm running out of paper because I so poorly managed. Let me just.
I can rip this in half.
I'll draw a line.
Can always make more room.
Okay.
All right. One more,
which is going to leave us with half a card based on my new system.
I'll give you a piece of my mind.
All right. Now, bear in mind, Shane.
Bear in mind
the fact that we're doing another one is no guarantee that we'll do better.
This is for all the grains of sand.
Okay. Our category is pizza toppings.
Pizza toppings.
You're in the wheel.
3,
pizza
4,
toppings.
2, 1.
Mushrooms,
Anchovies.
olives, pepperoni,
Sausage.
onion,
bacon,
extra cheese,
Canadian bacon,
extra sauce, spicy sausage,
pineapple, haha,
ham,
mozzarella,
Provel,
crushed red pepper,
Parmesan, chicken,
nice spinach, olives,
artichoke.
I don't know if you did it, but
Yeah, this is back in the 80s. They didn't have as many toppings.
so you said cheese, right?
Yeah.
Pepperoni, I think you said.
Mozzarella.
I said, yeah, mozzarella.
Sun-dried tomatoes.
Nice.
Sun-dried
Onions.
tomatoes, onions, peppers, green peppers, red peppers, bell peppers.
The peppers.
Jalapenos.
Nice.
Pepper.
I'm just going to say
pepper.
marinara.
Yeah.
Garlic sauce? I don't know.
Garlic. That's good. And
and
thyme.
sauce. Garlic sauce and garlic. Yeah.
Okay. Shane, how did we do?
7. Let's go.
8.
Let's shoot
Come
for the
on,
moon.
8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, that's my optimistic.
We might have got them all.
No. You're going to read the first one and it'll be like, oh, we didn't think about.
Okay. Let's
that
assume we
thing.
didn't get a perfect 10. Do you think it's going to be obvious like we should have, or that's a stupid answer?
I think it'll be obvious.
Like we should have had it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to say the little white table that you
Ooh,
get.
yeah. Yeah.
It's going to.
Okay. Pizza toppings. Listeners at home, what did we forget?
I just feel good. It's finally like a normal one. Like I feel, I don't know. That one
Blank
seems
mind.
Blank mind. That's just, it's hard. It's not bad. It's just hard.
It's not our wheelhouse.
not
okay.
our-
Pizza toppings.
All right.
Number 1, pepperoni.
Thank goodness. A normal one.
Oh, we came so close. Number 2, sausage.
You said, I said
Yep.
sausage.
Number 3, onions.
Oh, I said onions.
Number 4, green pepper.
We still got all the peppers.
Yeah, we said all
made
peppers.
sure.
Number 5, mushrooms. Number 6,
Wait,
olives.
You said mushroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 7, Canadian bacon.
Said Canadian bacon.
We did not get number 8,
What was number 8?
ground beef.
Ground.
Like hamburger.
I put that in like the sausage category. It's not. So
No.
Okay.
Number 9, extra cheese. We said it.
Extra. We said cheese a lot of times.
Yeah, I
so
just wrote cheese.
Okay.
And number 10, anchovies. You said it.
I said anchovies. So
We were ground
9?
beef away from a perfect 10.
Oh. Yeah.
That's redemption.
See that's a good redemption. Now I'm ready for real conversation.
Okay,
You
now-
gotta.
It's like an athletic event. You got to warm up. You jog a couple laps. You do your toe touches, your stretching. You got to get ready.
Gotta feel good mentally inside.
You can't just wake up and go into a heavy conversation. You can't just
It's true.
go from answering email to tell me about your spiritual life. No, we got to talk about pizza toppings first.
That's
Then I'll be
very
ready.
real. Yeah.
Yeah. We should name car parts that we've replaced, and then we can get to the stuff that matters.
What are the top 10 car parts that you've replaced?
like personally or even paid?
I'm just yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's not good.
Some more in
Ground
general.
beef.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to put ground beef on pizza right now just to sort of validate that as a legitimate topping.
I guess
I remember it though. I remember my mom, I think, doing ground beef.
it's
Just like browned beef, like on a pan.
that you would just like manually. Was this? Did you have frozen pizza back then?
Yeah, we frozen pizza.
Okay, I don't know. Like, was that a?
I don't remember when it
was that
started.
a revolutionary thing
Well,
in
at
the
some
90s?
point it was.
Yeah, because I've had like burger pizza. Whenever I see ground beef
Yeah,
on
like
pizza, it's
cheeseburger
like
pizza.
Yeah,
Kind of a novelty.
yeah. But that's the only time I'll see ground beef on it.
Dude, that was pretty good. We got 9.
That was.
I
good.
really thought sun-dried tomatoes was going to be on there. That was kind of a topping from like
I've
the 90s,
seen
especially. It
but
seems like.
yeah. I'm surprised like Parmesan and crushed red pepper. Like I feel like that's the staple. Like
Yeah.
like
If antifreeze is a car part you replace, Parmesan and crushed red pepper is a pizza topping.
yeah. Not that you would like. I was alive in the '80s, but like I'm imagining like a sit-down picca place with the the toppings at the center of the table.
Oh yeah,
like
the glass,
Parmesan and red
with the
peppers.
kind of the curvature to it. It's
yeah,
like pear shaped.
it's got textured glass.
yeah, with like a swirled texture.
We're imagining the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was good, Shane.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was good nostalgia.
I feel good. I feel good.
I feel good. Now to ask, what's your deepest, darkest fear coming in?
Yeah,
into
now
this
we're
one?
ready. If you could take back one regret from your life, what would it be? No, we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see the conversation takes us.
So yeah. Again, vibrant conversation deck you can find on Lutheran Hour Ministries website, or you could just find on the description of this video. But yeah, it's a 52 card deck, and each face of the card has a themed question. And that question could range from simple of "Where do you like to eat?" to maybe what your darkest fear is. We're still going through the cards. Well, we're figuring out. But you can grab this if you like the questions you hear in this episode. You can pick it up yourself. But we're gonna just talk about it. Could be one card at a time. It could be the whole deck.
Rapid fire.
We'll never know.
What percentage of the cards have you enjoyed the prompt so far? I mean, like the prompt as it is.
Technically, I like them all because I think all conversation is good conversation.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm about 50%.
Unless it's like it makes me feel like awkward or anything. But so far, like it's you I'm talking with. It's not like if I were just spitting these cards out with like people I haven't
As
even
an
like,
icebreaker.
Yeah,
with
as an
a
ice. I
stranger.
wouldn't use these cards as like a very, very new icebreaker.
Right.
Yeah, no.
I think I've liked all of the conversations we've had around the cards.
Yes, that's my
And
yes.
and I've liked about half the cards at face value. Which is interesting because you always guess low on our Outburst, and you can look like a pessimist, and I always guess high. Not because we're trying to fulfill a role. That's just where we're at. And then with these, I'm always like, that's a dumb question. I don't like it, and here's why. And you're like, that's a great question. I got 12 stories. So
it depends on it. Yeah,
I like that we're not caricatures. Like that's my point, I guess. Like
Yeah.
we're not just, oh, Shane's always the happy guy and Dan's always a downer.
Yeah. Shane's everything's music related, and everything has to be theological.
Yeah, theological.
Yep. There you
Okay, here we go.
go. Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Today's question is brought to you by the Queen of Clubs, which I'm holding upside down. Okay. What makes extending hospitality easier or more difficult right now? Now I'm going to read it again, and then we'll talk around the question for a second. What makes extending hospitality easier or more difficult right now? My first question is compared to when? Is it like at this stage?
Right now.
Is it like, well, right now I'm recording a podcast, so that's a challenge. Is it this stage in my life, or is it like 10 years ago culture was different? How did you hear the right now?
Yeah, it's hard for me because my brain is almost always in like a work mode of like the word hospitality for me is a buzzword for like church hospitality.
Bathroom needs to be clean, greeters at the door.
How is your like hospitality? So like I'm right now I'm reeling myself back like mentally of like, oh yeah, like I can make my house seem hospitable. I can make my car seem hospitable. I can make myself seem hospitable.
It's like extending hospitality. You were starting there, not the more difficult or easier right now. You were like extending hospitality, taking that out of work.
Yeah. So I mean, my gut goes to church of like, all right, how can we make things more hospitable for the guests, for people coming in for the first time? But now I'm like, it's hard because that's how I think about it like 95% of the time. So that's where my gut goes.
Do you think they're asking about home primarily? You used car. That was an interesting. I've never thought about my car as being a hospitable place. It's always like, oh, sorry about the crap on the seat.
Well, if I'm paranoid of what people are going to think about me, if people see it for the first time, I rope that into like hospitality of like, hey, like if you're like, hey, can I ride with you to the blank? Like sure. Like oh man, I've got like an old soda can in there, like I don't want to know, like I don't know, I like things being hospitable because I want people to think better of me. I love that. By the way, I love. I would have said like because it makes room for better conversation. Like no, in reality, I want people to think I make them think I take care of myself.
Because ideally, I think hospitality is about like loving the other person. That's actually the Greek. If I could sound smarty pants for a second, the etymology is the love of stranger, or the love of like the foreigner. It's about that person being loved, but you're like, yeah, I want my house to look good so that they think better of me. And that is real.
Yeah, I won't beat around the bush. Like
I think that is, if I had to make a broad estimate or guess, that's probably the number one reason people are not more hospitable is because they don't feel like their life is together enough or their house is clean enough.
Yeah. That sounds right. Pride.
I was going to say,
I think it just comes down to
a nice
pride.
way of saying, I'm too proud. I don't want you to judge me for my mess. And so once my mess is clean, then I'll have you over. But my mess will never be clean. So I'll just live a lonely life and we'll never share a meal.
And then,
because that's better.
Or we'll just spend $50 more and eat out instead. Yeah, but I'm trying to think for this question.
What makes extending hospitality easier or more difficult right now?
I maybe just like in the abstract sense of it. I don't know. How did you take the question initially?
So to me, just my take on it is I bear in mind, Shane. No, I'm just kidding. Trying to see how many of these mind things I could use in the conversation.
Anchovies, yes.
I assumed having people over to my home. That was sort of my first filter.
Okay.
That was what I was picturing. So what makes it easier or more difficult to have people over to my home in a loving, welcoming way right now? And I sort of, it's interesting because those are comparative words, easier or more difficult. They necessarily beg the question of compared to something else or another time. And so I just ignored that. So I just took it as what makes it easy or difficult to extend hospitality right now. And I took away the comparison part in my head. I mean, I can go down that road, but I'm just telling you how I read the question is what makes it what makes it more likely or less likely that I will have someone over to my home to do life together, not compared to last week or last year or someone else's life. Like the comparison part doesn't add anything to this question for me.
I misheard you when you said that the first time in like the comparison aspect, but I thought that was a great answer. Like, what can you do right now? Like, well, like not compare.
Oh, right. Well, that,
like
to me in general, comparison is never helpful. Like, very few areas of life does it add value.
Yeah.
So what makes it difficult for my life to extend hospitality right now, and this is probably true for a lot of people, is the scheduling and the busyness of how we're choosing to spend our time. Like I try to add that language a lot, that it's not just that I'm too busy, because I'm not a passive victim here. I'm choosing to spend my time doing things.
You are in control.
Of I manage the calendar. Some things are commitments, but in general, we're not helpless here. So we are in general choosing to do too many other things or different things, which is really another way of saying it's not a priority. So I'll say for the Weber household, the mess part is not typically a hang-up. We've been very intentional to say, my phrase, this is not Charlotte's phrase, and this does not reflect poorly on Charlotte, but on me and the fact that we have kids and we live a busy life. But I like to say that the Webers lower the bar on hospitality. I want people to come over to my house and walk away going, well, if they could have people over, certainly we can. Because they're not put together. There was stuff everywhere. They made me chop tomatoes when I got there. Like, if you come to our place, you're going to work. I mean, like, dinner's not going to be this super fancy thing. I'm not going to hang your coat up. I don't have, your silverware probably won't match. And so we lower the bar on hospitality.
So what can you do right now? Maybe is like a broad sense for like people, if you're like trying to lecture someone. Not that this question is in a sense, but like in discussing if you were to tell someone like, what can you do to be more hospitable? Lower the bar.
Get over yourself.
Yeah, lower the bar. Get over yourself.
And for us, some of that came from when we first had kids. Somebody at our church, and I really don't remember who at this point, but they shared something along the lines of, you never need to explain your mess. Like, because kids are messy. You'll find that out soon. They said, you never need to explain your mess. If somebody has kids, they already get it. And if they don't have kids, they're not going to get it. It's like, they either get it or they don't. And you justifying it is wasted for either person.
Sorry. I'm imagining that quote of like, you don't need to explain your mess from an aspect of like, if you don't have kids and if there's just something just so glaring, like someone's over, like there's there's a stuffed elephant in the corner. Like, don't ask, don't talk about it.
No.
Don't explain your mess. There's literally an elephant like in the room. Like, can I ask?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm picturing more like you're sitting at the table and you are very aware of just grinding Cheerios underneath your feet.
Yeah.
Like, sorry about my kids threw cereal on the ground.
Yeah.
They either have lived that reality or they don't. And frankly, it's not just whether they have kids or not. Like, they either love you and trust you or they don't. And if this is somebody who's trying to now, if this was a job interview, maybe it's a little bit different. But if it's just somebody you care about and you're doing life together.
So I feel like the context matters maybe there's just different spectrums of the hospitality of like, are you trying to impress them? Or maybe the better question is know your goal.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, are you hosting someone? Odds are, if is it a guest? Is it a visitor? Is it a family member? Like, what's the goal? Like,
and we do clean up, by the way. We tidy before people come, and we want our house to be clean.
Yeah, I guess that speaks into the hospitality part of it, but like, of what degree of your hospitality? Like, is your goal to like make people feel welcomed? Is that the goal of the hospitality more so than we want a really great conversation from this hospitality, or is your end goal like just to have fun? Like, I'd prepare very differently if the goal was they're coming over for so that they're gonna sleep in our guest bed, or like sleep in a guest bedroom, or sleep in our bed, and we're gonna be sleeping out on the futon instead, or whatever the scenario is.
I like that question about the goal because, you know, when I'm thinking about us cleaning before friends come over for dinner. I'm not cleaning so that you walk in and go, wow, Charlotte and Dan really just have an immaculate house. Mm-hmm. At the same time, if we have crap everywhere and it smells and there's dishes everywhere, like, you're not going to be comfortable as a guest.
Yeah, like, you don't want to be in there.
Yeah, like I want you to be comfortable. And if there's dirty laundry on the couch and you don't know where to sit, that's not a good guest experience. So I think our cleaning is, and maybe this sounds like a humble brag, I'm just having a conversation, Shane. Yeah. But like, our cleaning is like, I want our guests to be comfortable, and a clean counter and clean table adds to that.
Mm-hmm. And I think so too. But then again, like, there is, I think, that kid dynamic of things of like, okay, when your kids are in that rough age of just like, there's just mess everywhere and you can't, nobody can clean. And is it then that point of like changing your target of hospitality of like, all right, we gotta just know who to invite over. Maybe it's not a good idea to invite these new people we've never met before to our home. Maybe it's a self-awareness. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to.
That's a factor. Cause like, so let's say you've got a kid who's screaming, and you will soon.
Yes.
Or maybe yours will be a quiet one, but we had kids who screamed.
Who knows?
But like, if your kid is just going to scream and make a mess and they hate eating, like, cause some kids just, they hate like meal. They're strapped in the chair and they're just making a mess. That's probably not the time to have like somebody who's hard of hearing and, you know, they just want to have a conversation. Like, we're not going to have a conversation. We're going to be smiling at each other across the table with our arms like raised to helplessness. Or if you have a toddler who can't sit still and you got to go to the park, maybe that's not the time to invite somebody who's got like a physical challenge and they just need to sit. So kind of know. Or similarly, maybe you're somebody who just needs to like sit still and you want a quiet evening. You know, make sure your guest has the same expectations. Hey, we want to have you over for just a quiet night to share conversation. Or we want to have a crazy game night and we're going to be running around outside. Great. But I think having your expectations clear and having shared expectations can go a long way.
Yeah, because even if it is so I'm trying, in my thoughts, I'm trying to bounce back and forth between like home and work.
I'd say get rid of work for this.
Really? Like, completely just like...
Yeah, I think this is just normal life.
Okay.
Here's another thing. When we have people over, I will regularly tell them what I'm going to wear in the invitation. If it's somebody who hasn't been over, like if I'm inviting church people or colleagues over, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to be wearing blue jeans and a hoodie. Like, that's the tone. Because I don't want somebody to show up Or like, oh, I thought it was a dinner party. Like, nope, that's not how we do it.
Yeah. Like you're wearing your Sunday best over, and now you're playing cornhole in 90 degrees, and you're outside wearing whatever.
I see things in your life how I would answer this for you. So you're a renter downstairs in an area where there's limited parking. That makes it more difficult to have people over.
Yeah,
that's just a reality. That's where you're at.
It's hard to find. We have to. Well, in a sense, I mean, like we're meeting people outside so that they can find our front door, which is actually a back door, but you wouldn't know until like even after we told you, like, yeah, you got to enter this person's property, but
that's a challenge.
Yeah, that's why I think knowing your goal helps me, I think, navigate this question. So can you read the question one more time?
Yeah,
I want to make sure it still applies.
Yeah, what makes extending hospitality easier or more difficult right now?
Okay. Yeah, I would say, knowing your goal, I think, helps answer the rest of the questions. Again, if we're limiting this to like inviting people to your house, because that way it defines whether I'm like, do I need to clean the closet like in my bedroom? Would they need to open it?
That'd be weird.
Yeah, but maybe it is like. I
like that you went there, by the way.
I'm just trying to think of a really abstract like scenario of like are you just having dinner? Like, are you just having dinner and just having conversation? Do you need to mow the backyard? Will they see, like, does it matter? Are you planning on going outside in the porch? Like, part of the expectation is we're going to go outside, we're going to have a few beers and like just talk about life. And, we have cornhole if we end up playing it. Okay, maybe it's a good idea to prepare this in advance, but knowing that goal, like, yeah, we're doing this, and the expectation, we just want to spend time with each other. Okay, you should probably like clear your table. Like,
yeah. So some of the factors here are like physical context. Do you have space to have people over? I'd say physical context might also include weather. Maybe you don't have space inside, but you've got a big yard. And if you live in the Northwest and it's going to rain for 9 months, that's going to make it more difficult to extend hospitality to have an outside dinner party.
Yeah.
Another thing that might make it easier or more difficult is your own assumptions or expectations about hospitality. Like, am I a game night kind of person? Am I a get out to China kind of person?
Yeah.
Do I want to prepare a several course meal? Like, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Am I going to Fred Meyer before this to get real food? I don't know, I say real food that's not like, we have some pasta. I don't know, like some like whatever our normal routine meal is, or are we actually planning this out?
So your own expectations might make it easier or more difficult to extend hospitality. Like if you think, maybe you grew up in a home where having people over meant all the kids have to match and you got to get out the nice dishes and somebody's got to spend hours cooking. Well, if that's what it means to have people over, pass. I'd rather just put Netflix on.
Yeah. And knowing that from the other person, I guess, setting that. So I'm hearing now essentially of like both parties are mutually understanding what the expectation is.
Yeah, but this is really asking about you as the extender. What makes it easier for you to extend or more difficult for you to extend hospitality?
And you're saying like
your own expectations matter.
Setting your expectation to this person. Hey, come over. Let's just have dinner and maybe play games.
And what I'm assuming hospitality looks like might prevent or make it easier for me to make that ask. So if I'm assuming that hospitality can be blue jeans, hoodie, and potluck, and I have space for such a thing, that's an easier ask than if I'm assuming I need to get a haircut and shave and prepare a meal. Well, that for me personally, those are barriers.
Yeah.
That make it harder to even think about entertaining.
Yeah. And like, am I supposed to be entertained as well? Like if I'm at somebody's place and they're like, all right, like we're preparing this and for you, like, oh my, like you did not have to do this. Like I didn't want like the special treatment. I wanted things to be casual. Like,
I think another big factor that maybe we haven't talked about is sort of the state of the relationship already. So like it's easy for me to invite you over. It's a text. Hey, what are you doing for dinner? You and Lauren should come over. Most people I wouldn't send that text to. That would be really weird. And so you and I think have a very low threshold for, hey, should we invite the Welters over? Yeah, cool. As opposed to like pick a random name out of the hat of the 300 people here in St. Luke's. Oh, it would be a higher burden of like, okay, to invite them over feels like a thing now.
Yeah.
And I have to tell them where we live, what to wear. I have to ask if they have food things.
And but at the same point, like, is that because you have, you of course have to.
Our history is different.
Yes, the history is different, and like, you do not know each other well enough to just do things on a whim. But with that, like,
so that makes it more difficult. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And does that answer stay the same though? Of like, all right, so like, what's this one thing? Like, just set the goal still. Like, set that expectation beforehand. Like, this certain person, like who I've talked to 3 times, maybe twice ever, come on over. Just so you know, this is a casual blah blah. We just want to get to know you.
Yeah. I'm just saying that is sort of necessarily more work, which makes it feel more difficult to extend the hospitality. You're kind of moving into, so what do we do about that? What's the solution?
Well, like you're saying like more work. So then does the answer change? Like,
does the answer to this question, or does the answer?
Does the answer to this question change if it is
this
brand
is asking
new,
what's making it more difficult
or easy
or easier? And I'm saying my pre-existing relationship on the spectrum of great friend to stranger or somebody maybe I'm in conflict with, where we are in our relationship will make it easier or more difficult for me to extend hospitality to them.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not one who typically invites strangers over well. That's, although there've been times where I've done that, and I've had people from church who sort of reach out like, "Hey, we want to have you over for dinner." I'm like, "Who are these people?" And then it's wonderful, and I'm so glad they did. And for them, that was less of a factor. Maybe the motivation of getting to know the pastor and his family, or just this person, that was bigger or weightier for them than the potential awkwardness of fear of rejection, or gosh, what if it's an uncomfortable hang? Somehow for several people it's tipped it's worth it, let's do it anyway. And for me, it doesn't always tip that way. Like, if I don't know you, if I think it's gonna be a weird conversation, it's gonna be hard for me to invite you over.
So having an established relationship definitely makes things easier to be hospitable.
So do I already like you? Do I have space for it? Have I kind of clarified in my own head, this is the expectation of what it means to be hospitable, and that's something that I want to do, as opposed to I've got clear expectations, I don't want to do that, but I know what I want. It's a win like that. Okay, this is what it means to have people over. I've got space for that, and I've got people that I want to experience that with. That makes it easier for me to extend hospitality.
All right. All right.
You're going to have to think about these things different when you have your own home.
Yeah.
Because your context is going to change. Your relationships won't change. But you'll have to solve for yourself in a different way. Now that your context is different, what does it mean for the Welters to extend hospitality?
Well, I will say, like, in our home search, that essentially was in our like top 3 criteria of a home, like including like the specifics of a home. Like, we wanted to make sure whatever this house is it hospitable / is it hostable?
Yeah.
Like, because what Lauren and I want, like, we want people to be in our house. Like, we don't want it to just be our place that no one will ever see ever. We want it to be inviting. We want people, like, we want to invite people over to it.
Yeah. I've got a follow-up question, but I don't mean to turn too much. I'm curious if you have a couple either best or worst kind of experiences when you're a guest. So to flip this, when you are being, when hospitality is being extended to you, let's say home for now, you're in somebody's home. What's one or two things that make that a great experience for you, and what's one or two things that, like, I hate it when I'm a guest somewhere and.
Yeah, I feel like I got to think of, thinking of those past experiences and what made them.
I'll share one of my
great
bad ones.
Or awkward. I do think they're just like, there is just a.
Like broad principles here.
Yeah, no, I do think there just is like a sociable aspect of it, in that, like, somebody like Lauren and I or Josiah like went to somebody's place because we were invited over, and there just was a clear disconnect, like relationally, of like, yeah, like, you're hosting great, like, you're a great host. We just aren't, like,
It's not a good hang.
yeah, like, it's just like either like relationally, like, we're just not jiving, like, we're like, and that's great. Like, you're like, you cleaned, you prepared this awesome meal. Like I just, like, we're different people, and like, that's fine. I just probably wouldn't come again, or maybe we just would redefine, or we maybe set more of the expectations of, hey, let's play a game. I don't know. Like, it's just not the way I would hang with someone. Like,
Yeah. So saying it's a bad hang is kind of vague, but maybe it's different expectations of what that activity is. So having a clear, hey, this is what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. And like, all right, like, we show up and like, all right, we still got to wait an hour and a half before the food is ready. Okay. What do I do? Like, what do I'm talking to you. Great.
That's one of my pet peeves.
Like, I'm hungry. Like,
if dinner is late, like if you, I want to know when we're going to eat.
Yeah.
So if you say, hey, come on over at 5, we're going to eat around 6. Cool. Like, having expectations is so helpful for me. If you say dinner's going to be at 6, and then like at 6:40,
but get here at 5.
Or I've had situations where it's like, hey, we're going to eat at 6. And then like at 6:40, I'm like, so where's the dinner? And like, he's actually running out to buy the steaks right now. And I'm like, oh no, we're going to be here for hours.
Yeah, like, I skipped breakfast and lunch for this. Like,
so I think having snacks is a win. So these are some of Dan's
when
favorite
you are
things.
hosting, yeah.
If I'm a guest somewhere, I want something to nibble on.
Like, yeah, or at least make it accessible to the person you're hosting, of like, even if it's not out, as in like, hey, like, the pantry's right there, you can.
Yeah, but if I'm not that close, it's going to be hard to root through their pantry. So the less close we are, the more available you need to make snacks.
Yeah.
I'd be comfortable going through your pantry and you're comfortable going through mine. But if I'm at somebody's house for the first time, there's no way I'm going through their fridge. Even if they say, help yourself. Nah, it's weird.
To be fair, it took me about 4 or 5 times at your house to actually do it. You were like, go through the fridge. I'm like, I'm not going through your fridge.
Exactly.
Like,
so the less close you are, the more the snacks need to be present. That's one of mine. Another one is I need to know where the bathroom is.
Yeah.
Like, tell me right away. I don't want to have to be like a child. I'm like, excuse me, can you tell me where the potty is? Because I really have to go. Like,
and then because then it makes me feel bad when I'm like, I'll guess, like, I open a door and it's stuff falling out.
Yeah,
like,
it could be their teenage daughter's room. Like,
yeah.
So if you're hosting people, tell them where the bathroom is. Don't make them ask you for the bathroom. That feels. I don't like having to ask. It's just a weird thing for me. I don't like having to ask where the bathroom is. Tell me. That's one. Snacks. Bathrooms.
Bathroom.
If you're hosting, you should have a general sense of who knows who among your guests. So if there's 10 work colleagues and you brought one person from church, like, you need to introduce that person to everybody else.
Introducing, I think, is huge.
By name. Maybe name tags. And if I love name tags, even though they're dumb and nobody likes them. Nobody likes being left out either.
And names are such an easy get. Like,
so when somebody comes, introduce them to everyone and do it a couple times until they're like, yeah, you already introduced us. We know.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
So snacks, bathrooms, and names are like probably my top 3.
I like that. I love those are great.
And they're pretty
Right.
low bar. Like none of those are like you need to have 19 bottles of chilled wine. No, just like put a bowl of tortilla chips out or peanuts. Tell me which door the bathroom is, and don't make me have to talk to strangers. Introduce me to them.
And I'm thinking too of like potential like area you're living in too of just like red flags. As in like we have a cat.
Oh yeah,
Are you allergic?
You
Like,
should know.
You should know.
Yeah.
Oh no, like we coat our house in gluten. Are you gluten intolerant? Oh
Yeah.
no, that's I don't know. Like
I feel like food allergies, it's good to ask, but I think at this point, many people who have them are pretty forthcoming.
yeah, I really like that. Especially I feel like
It's still good
The
to
area
ask.
we live in, I think people are good at that.
Yeah.
As opposed like the Northwest, people are. What I've come to know since living here, people are like, hey, just so you know, like I'm whatever. Episcopal. Well, no, Episcopal. What do you call a fish only? Pescatarian?
Episcopalian, you're right.
Episcopalian. There you go.
Just so you know, I'm a Presbyterian. All right, well, you can still come over for a hot dog, right?
Okay.
Yes.
No, but
cats is a good
like
one.
in
We
the
have a cat.
Midwest, like
we've got a big dog. Like, tell me if you have a big dog.
No, but like it's just different in the Midwest. Like I know settings where people are like, "Hey, just so you know, I'm gluten intolerant." Okay,
Yeah.
like like they don't know what that word means. Like
Yeah.
you should probably like do more. Yeah, it's different, but yeah. See, like the red flags and things are definitely like
If parking is weird or your house is weird, tell them that. Hey, we're on a cul-de-sac. You know, you can park across the street, or
yeah.
help people succeed.
The more we're talking about it, not like internally,
music
I
on
don't
too.
have music.
It's quiet. If it's awkward and you're the first person who shows up and it's just quiet, have music, have something out.
Again, I feel like these all depend on, in a sense of like goal oriented.
That's true.
Like, are you going like the expectation is like we're not eating or anything. Like you're coming over and we are purely just
Game night.
yeah. Like you are purely just like looking out the foundation of the new house. Like we're not even hosting you. You're coming over. Like, but there's still a level of hosting in that, and I don't know. I feel like there's such a spectrum of hosting and hospitality of like what are you doing? Like
Yeah.
what's the purpose?
And maybe several of the things or all of the things I've shared are very idiosyncratic to me and my home and
I think,
my styles, and that's okay.
Yeah, and I think most of the time I will host is going to absolutely meet exactly what like those are like absolute pointers that me and other people should have for that.
I still stand by snacks and bathrooms and names.
No matter what.
No matter what the hospitality occasion is.
Like when someone comes to your house, even if they're coming just so they can drop off something. I don't know.
But if you're inviting people over,
Into your
hospitality
house.
into your home,
Yeah.
you should tell them where the bathroom is. You should make food as accessible as your relationship kind of requires. So the closer you are, the less work you need to put into that.
And I do think I'm thinking about it, like the closer you are to someone, I think, the more of that like boundary like lessons, because it's like if I'm coming over to your house, like I know where your food is,
But it's equally accessible is my point.
Yes,
So
yes.
A new person, their comfort of accessibility.
Yes. Well, and kind of what I'm thinking of it is just like, I think the level of hospitality, just there's a gauge and a level to it depending on your relationship with this person. Like, even I would say like, whether it's right or wrong, like if you and Charlotte, your family moved somewhere else in Tacoma, and like I don't know, like your brother came over to your house, like yeah, you still might show them the bathroom, but like maybe like your relationship was good enough that he's still gonna go into your fridge and like So I think like there's just a level when it comes to hosting, like the level of that relationship matters so much more, like, and maybe part of the point of hospitality is you want this person to have a really great impression of you because you want a good relationship with that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And to me, I guess it is less I want them to like and love me, but I think I'll use the word host. Your job as host is to make sure the other person is comfortable and they feel loved.
Yes. Yeah.
And so being aware of what their needs might be, and I'm just expressing for me and many people, if I'm there for a few hours, I will need to go to the bathroom. I usually need food and I need comfort among the people. And so if I don't know where the bathroom is, I don't have access to snacks, and I don't know who these people are, I'm not going to be comfortable as a guest. And the host, I think, in sacrificial love, in considering others, has the burden to meet those needs and to anticipate as many of them as they can. And those needs change. So when you and Lauren come over, I don't tell you where the bathroom is. You know.
Yeah.
But I know that you know. So I still, the burden is still mine. Does this guest know where these things are? Yep. Cool.
Yes.
Then they're more likely to have a good experience.
Yeah. And as that relationship and develops, but in like, you've it's evolved and it grown over time. It's deepened. And so
it's less about making an impression on you and more about you being comfortable.
But if the goal is like, this person's probably only ever going to once be in my house, like, and it's just for a job interview that for some reason is being hosted at my house or whatever. I don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah. Like, then make a great impression. I don't care about the relationship or like whatever. Like, this is just to get XYZ done. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so that's a good example. We did that just over a year ago when Jonah and Megan and Sarah came. It was for an interview.
Yeah.
And we had a dinner. We had a dinner at my home, and we didn't know if they would ever come back or if God's church would call them to serve here. But we had food, and the purpose of that was an interview. And baby Sarah was screaming, so Kendra took Sarah, went for a walk, so that Megan and Jonah could participate in the interview. Like this was a need. They were guests. We tried to meet it.
Yeah. And now I think it's definitely like absolutely the perspective has changed of like yes, we want you guys to get here. And now we're all part of the church family and like, yay. But at the time, it was a very different expectation, need for what it was serving the purpose as. Yeah. I feel like it's a strangely like simple yet like deep question of hospitality, of things that it definitely means and things that it could mean. How you define it and where you're defining it. We're limiting this to the confines of inviting someone to your home.
Sure.
And I feel like it definitely could change on yes, we have like these conversations for like church, but like, or you're a business owner of a car dealership and you want to sell your cars. So you want to make sure like your business looks like they know what they're doing and you're not getting scammed.
Yeah. Or you're hosting your mom's 90th birthday at a rec hall.
Yeah.
Or your kid's 5th birthday at a gymnastics place. Okay. Like I think these same things apply. Have you told them what time, where to park, how to get to are you hiding in the back room?
Yeah.
Where do you have somebody at the door once they're there? Do they know what time food's going to be?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be at a home, but if you are extending hospitality, I think you get to love others. Does this conversation make you want to host more or less?
I think for me especially, like I'm a people person. I want excuses for people to hang out with people. And at this point for like Lauren and I, it's easier for us to like go somewhere else to hang out with them. Whereas like come over because we're in the middle of a transition and it wouldn't be hospitable for you to like, kind of in that regard. But yeah, I think I'm always excited, whether the prep or not. I love the prep. I think my favorite thing in adulthood is like, so far is like when like my family's come over, like Washington and being here was like the first step in my adult life.
Yeah, spread your wings.
Yeah, but like when my parents first came to visit me in my old apartment, I felt so like giddy and proud of myself when they came over. I'm like, look, I'm like I got to be a host of something, and like, look, I prepared this for you, and like we're doing this, and like this is what we're gonna eat, and look, I got this for you guys. Like it's for me, it was like it's a proud moment of like of like I'm hosting and I get to host still. Yeah, like in regard of like for me, it's just like I want people like if I were being hosted at a place, like this is what I would want. So I get to do that for other people. Like I get to create my own Disneyland at home for these people. Like in a sense.
That's awesome, Shane.
Yeah, that's kind of my mindset now. Maybe kids will change everything of like, get out. I don't want anyone over. I'm an introvert.
Yeah, you smell like spit up and you haven't showered for a couple of days.
Yeah.
You're eating cold hot dogs for dinner. And
yeah, so maybe it'll all change. But as of now, like I love the idea of hosting and even talking about it still. Like I love the idea of even like it seems like more brainstorming for me than like ways the world can be better at it. Like no, like these are great tips. I love it.
awesome.
So that's it for me.
This has been encouraging. I feel motivated to
clean your bathroom.
Well, no, I guess to have people over.
Yeah, and just I don't know. I always love the conversation. Listener at home, thank you for listening in on this conversation, but it's not the same without you. Thank you for listening. But please, by all means, continue the conversation at home. If you've never hosted or you want to host, you could use this episode as tips, but you could probably even get better tips if you Googled it. That's not the point of this. We want you to have the conversation. Take this conversation at home. Talk with your significant other, your relative, your mom, your sibling, whoever it might be, your coworker, just about ways about hosting. How can you host? Maybe you should host that person you're talking to. It's a great way. We need people. We need each other, and your home's a great place for that. So thank you for listening. We'll continue the conversation at some point in time. I'm having a baby in the future, so we're not setting any hard expectations on the episodes coming up, but they'll come as they come. So thank you for being here.
Thanks, Shane.
Woo!
That's the end of the episode, but we want to continue the conversation. Continue the conversation by sharing this episode, subscribing, or leaving a review. Connect with us on Instagram at 2414 podcast. Connect with us through email at 2414@stlukes-church.com. Or best of all, keep the conversation going by inviting someone to process with you so that you can each walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. If you happen to be in the Seattle-Tacoma area of Washington, stop by on a Sunday morning and say hi. 2414 is a podcast produced by St. Luke's Lutheran Church in Federal Way, Washington. To find more content, discover upcoming opportunities to connect in person, or to support the show, head on over to stlukes-church.com. Thanks for walking with us.